goes under the bridge of 370, which adds like 20 minutes to the walk.
I
Hold on,
apologize.
sister.
I forgot, and I was doing the dishes. We had a lot of dishes.
Hold on,
God,
sister,
okay.
because you're an enable. You're someone who will do this. Cheers.
Cheers!
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, you smoking or drinking?
Both.
Hell yeah.
Not the smoke. Actually, do the recap while I smoke. Hold on.
We originally thought that Vexa, you were just high out of your mind completely, so baked it was just game over.
That's fair, but it's like 6. I wouldn't be that baked that early.
Okay, yeah.
That's wrong. If I worked and I got out of work, I'd be that baked that early, but I haven't got my social security card in yet, so I'm not working yet.
Oh, okay, this is the song I need for DnD.
That's all right.
I need a song. You said we're going to a party.
So basically, what happened was they went to the fancy smancy restaurant. Had a awkward, silent dinner.
Yeah.
And then Ventress showed up on doing something. Everybody freaked out, said we better go. And discuss it while he's here. Ventress went to the back, not even paying attention to them, and they just left and went over to Silas's place to party.
Well, let me know when I can start with a real shit.
Right, Tailspire. That's where it is.
Yep.
Apologies. I feel so behind. Oh my god.
Also, if you don't mind, I'd have Janra just be following you guys. Like, what the fuck do I do?
Yep, that's fair.
Lyra would have been like urging her to join in with the drinking and shit.
She would join in, but she would be going slow. Like she's gonna. She.
Oh, now we going crazy.
She a newbie.
Cheers.
She's just
Take another hit, bitch.
Hold on. I just put it out.
Yeah. Oh, bong.
When we stopped, bless. The drugs had just arrived. We stopped.
It's time for Avila to wake up.
Yeah, I'll say you, Avila, start kind of blink your head, kind of in a daze. As you're kind of coming to consciousness, you just feel this slap on the side of your face. As you kind of wake up, you see kind of ethereal, but kind of floating above you. He kind of looks at you and says, "Get up, we got work to do."
I'm up.
And then before he dissipates and goes back into the sword.
He's gonna look around and say, "Sister."
Look around and do not see her.
She just keep looking around. She's gonna go into each room, knock. She doesn't even care if people are in there. Just gonna see if her sister's in there. Don't need to open all the doors. She's just looking. Where did she go?
Nobody, you don't see anybody. A couple of the guests kind of still the middle of the night, kind of like look up, their hair all disheveled. Huh? What's going on?
What the fuck? Back to sleep.
They were getting.
If everyone's hair will get a little bit darker now.
They were definitely getting freaky.
Oh yeah, if someone's getting freaky. She don't give a shit. She's busting down the door.
Did I because like we probably noticed that Elvira's not with us over here, and my shield guardian is outside the tavern. Could I like mentally command my shield guardian to retrieve Elvira?
Wait.
I thought your shield guardian initially came with you.
It
Besides,
came with us to the place for the clothing, and then it just kind of idled around near the fountain. So since it's been defaulting to the tavern when it's not following me, and I didn't have it follow us to the restaurant.
bartender kind of
It
looks.
followed us for the clothing.
Bartender kind of looks over at you. Yeah, I help you? Oh, I see you're up and about.
Where is my sister?
Here's a question: would y'all have left a note for her at all, or no?
I know I did. I don't know if Lyra did for her.
I would say if if we were like now kind of being where you kind of feel that pull kind of out from outside the tavern.
She's gonna look over at the bartender and say, "When was the last time you saw her? And who did you see her with?"
That weird elf guy in the mask, that transparent guy. They said they're going to some fancy restaurant. Haven't seen them since. That was, I don't know, a couple hours ago.
She's gonna say, "So she's in a place potentially with creepy man with no one to protect her. Cool."
Oh yeah, get touched.
She's gonna be like, "Ah, fuck it. Hey, late.
Uh huh.
I think it's time." She's gonna do a controlled. She's gonna try and control it and do it. I kind of just want to go through the ceiling. That's why.
Okay.
What?
She's just gonna be there like, "Fuck it. Apologies for your ceiling." She's gonna deliberately stress herself the fuck out more than she was.
As you kind of like grow and crash the ceiling, people upstairs like, what the fuck?
I like to
As
imagine
your
the
head
bartender
kinda
being
like
like,
kinda
"What do
like
you mean, sorry for my ceiling?" And then
as your head kind of like is now poking through one of the bedrooms. Two people who were sleeping are now looking at you terrified.
She's just gonna look, literally as she's just going up, floating. She just looks at a couple of them, screwing them, trying to control it as much as she can, not to just murder everyone.
All right, make
And she's gonna
a.
try and.
I would say to try and control it, make a wisdom save.
This is also training for Avila to see if she can control it. Well,
What'd you get
forgot
on?
she has an aura. 17. She has an aura, so she's. I rolled +5 to all of my shit.
All right, yeah, you're fine for now.
Yeah, she's gonna go and try and look around. She's in the air and she's looking. She sees Alatia, but she's not focusing on that.
You
yeah, as you're flying overhead, Elachia's probably just looking up at you with like a hand out as if it's trying to grab you from that distance.
you would feel. Look at where they are compared to you.
Silas's house probably looks like that scene from SpongeBob when all the jellyfish were in his house
Oh
partying.
my god. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I know exactly the music, and I'd like to point out, while Late's measuring the distance, about a month ago, we heard somebody driving through the local supermarket parking lot blasting the song from that scene.
Check your DM Vex.
Ah, ah.
You feel that pole is to the west.
She's gonna start flying that way slowly. Still trying to keep herself under control.
I think like two of the two of like the enforcers are like they kind of shift a little bit as they watch you go by.
I would say another roll. Yeah, definitely, because this is not something she tried before. 21.
Yep, you're fine.
Nice.
Should probably get there. Because you said west, so she's just going west so far.
And it's like as you come to the gate of where where the harbor is, you feel it coming from inside of this house. Like it's like really, really strong.
You guys would probably hear just outside the door like a large gust of wind and then like a massive slam.
I think Silas kind of like you see like he turns his hand out with like there's like this crackling green energy around his hand staring at you.
Where is my sister?
He just silently like nudges to the next room.
I would like to know exactly how do you smoke or take? Yes.
You think one more late or?
Yeah, since Silas is standing very aggressively.
I'm rolling like crazy. Not 20.
Yeah, you're fine.
Damn.
She's gonna attempt to get through the door, which is gonna be fun. Just her trying to dip her head just there like.
Are you trying to force it? Or are you trying to be
Oh no, she's still trying to force to end it. She's trying to now. She's kind of crouching her head down in here, just there like,
Yes, it sounds like right here, like
Like,
what you doing?
You're gonna. She's gonna literally say to Silas, "I'm trying to see if I can control it."
The flames kind of dissipate around his hands, and he's like, "Seems like you're doing a good job so far."
He's gonna do a smile, but she can see. He can see that she's uncomfortable right now. As she's gonna look over towards the room, seeing all of them at the table.
Myra's
Problem
like
is-
actively setting up the rig for the resin.
Rolling out some blunts.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's gonna say, "Problem is, Silas, I don't know how to transform back." As she just looks like she's struggling.
I'll say. Let me try something. You will mutter something under his breath as you can try casting an anti-magic field. You. try and just end whatever it is that's fine. I'll say with make another. Are you going to willingly let him to try and force your detransformation, or
It's a little bit of both. Evira wants to, but it's a transformation, so it's gonna
I'll say
it's gonna
make
actively fight back.
it'll be a con save versus his save DC.
Uh oh. This shit could get dangerous. It's a 28.
Yeah, you feel like you feel like in where you're standing, it's like it's there, but it's the magic is like trying to undo it at the same time. But it's like your inners are you're fighting against yourself now more than anything.
Yeah, how you guys are gonna hear, there's a lot of screams. That she's actively now struggling.
I think
Well,
Salus will turn
uh,
to the rest of you like a little help here.
Huh?
Klaus would walk over, smoking on his pipe that he's packed full, and ask Evora what's going on.
Numbnuts, what does it look like?
He would then take his take one more puff from his pipe and offer it to her, saying to take this to relax.
She would just reach her hand out and then she would start going back into pain mode. More internal struggles.
All right, I'll say
Was she able to grab the pipe?
I'll say with the
She went to grab it, but
I'll say because of the pain, make a dex save at disadvantage.
okay, hold on.
You'll either take the pipe or
Disadvantage.
you'll crush it.
Well, I'm rolling like crazy good. 27.
Yeah, you managed to take the pipe despite your enormous pain.
To tell her to take a big inhale of it.
She's going to go to take an inhale, but she will say, "Where's my sister?"
He would point over to the table. She's hanging out with Balar and my wife and Tan.
Now she's actively going to try and fight it more for her sister. As now she sees her.
As they catch from the bone.
I'll say, yeah, make another con save.
Jesus Christ, what are my rolls? 26. I haven't got below a 15.
Using all your good rolls.
What's crazy is Avera's.
It's a really good time to use all these really good rolls.
I'll say
because she.
I'll say at this point
Her
it's
aura.
like your the pain has subsided less now that you see your sister, and it's more of like now it's more like just the power of wills instead of physically.
She's gonna be like, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm fine, I can do this, I can do this. It'll be useful if I'm able to control this bullshit and not want to just slaughter everyone here. And she's gonna just turn for a second to look at Silas and then say, "No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to plunge my sword into him."
Make a wisdom save. See if you can resist the urge to not kill Silas or try to
Jeez.
kill Silas.
Yeah, that's a 27.
It's like part of you wants to, but part of you doesn't. It's like your feels now more like your mind has become split into two parts. Part of you wants to murder everybody, and part of you doesn't.
He's now going to try again to deactivate.
Alright, make another con save.
She's gonna take a deep breath and she's like, "I won't kill everyone here. I won't kill everyone here." 25.
Jeez.
Yeah, that buff that I did was insane. I just thought about it just now because I have aura of protection. It just made her saving throws go through the roof.
Beautiful.
I'll say you with this, like you feel yourself shrinking in size. The shadow starts to dissipate back to yourself.
She's gonna just sigh deep and just there like, "I appreciate your help, Silas."
We'll drop concentration on the anti-magic field.
Looks like I'm learning how to control it somewhat.
It's good.
Hopefully I can learn how to control it so I don't want to kill everyone and I could just focus on certain people. She'll walk in and she's gonna go and put her hand on Lyra's head, actually kind of embracing her.
As you walk by, Klaus would ask for his pipe back.
She's just gonna chuck it. She ain't even out there. She's chucking it. She's back to normal. Hold on, let me.
Guess I was gonna take
God damn
the
it.
mask off.
God damn it. God damn it. Yeah, there you go. She's actually being nice to Lyra for once and embracing her.
Lyra will accept the embrace.
And she'll be there like, and didn't even leave a note.
She shrugged.
You know I was ready to tear the entire city apart to look for you.
But alcohol.
She'll do a little smile. And say, "So what did you guys get up to whilst I was under it?"
Kind of turns towards the rest of the group.
Nothing much too eventful, I don't think. We took a little bit of a trip to one of the fancier eateries in town, and we spotted a rather unsavory individual there. Ventress was headed to the back room.
He's gonna be there like, "So Ventress was there. So that means he's in Vale. Shit."
We've seen him here before. He intercepted us on the way out the door from the tavern some time ago. He seems to come and go as he pleases and blends with the crowd somehow.
That's not the concern. The concern is I have what he wants right now.
That much I can understand is also a concern.
And you left me alone where I could have been killed by him, and he steals the thing. Great. She's gonna do a little clap of her hands real quick and say, Janra, get over here.
Yes.
She'll whisper in her ear saying, tell everyone that I know, part of the Gilded Ghosts people. Get ready
They'll
and keep
nod.
their eyes out for Ventress.
They'll nod and run out.
Taylor kind of does like a little bit of a gesture with his hand, kind of like waving towards you. He says, in our defense, we did not know that Ventress was in town until after we had already left. We packed up quite quickly once we realized that he was there, as we had plans to discuss, and I did not feel it wise to do so with him in the building.
I mean, only an idiot would discuss plans in front of their enemy.
But other than that, we came here to have a little bit of an after party, and, well, now you're here.
Gonna be there like, one moment, I have one more call to make. She's gonna go on that stone that she has and basically relay the message to the person on the stone. Yeah, shit could get wicked.
As you're kind of going by the door, you see kind of hunched, kind of sitting on the fountain is a figure kind of in dark armor, hood over his face. He kind of motions for you to come closer.
She's gonna come closer, but she's going to. She's taking out a sword. She don't trust this motherfucker. She don't know who this guy is. But she's doing it quite quietly. She's like,
Yeah, it's like he doesn't say a word. You see him look at you, hold up a piece of parchment on the edge of the fountain, walk away.
he's gonna pick up the notes and then start walking towards the fire as she reads it.
That's what it says.
Wait, hold on. Just to make sure I got that right. This is me as a player needs to make sure I got that right.
Yes.
She's gonna throw that shit in the fire and be there like, that's unsettling. As she just walks back in. Ventress is on the move and I can't track his whereabouts. There aren't one of Ventress right now, there's 6 of him.
Taylor kind of just looks over and he kind of like puts his hand down by his side near his dagger, not actually grabbing it, but doing like a white knuckle grip next to it. And then as he releases it, he's like, "Of course, it would be someone like him that would use that kind of trick." There were, at least I'm assuming it's what he's using. There were individuals higher up within the group that I used to be part of that did something similar, creating copies of themselves to do multiple things at the same time. It is a cheap trick, I would say, in any case if it's being used for the kind of work that he's doing.
They're called,
We found
Silas kind of pipes up, they're called simulacrums. It's a advanced spell, but there is one plus side. Simulacrums are incapable of learning.
Tilts his head and like, so whatever they knew at the time that Ventress created them is all that they would know until they are destroyed.
Yes, but the downside is they do have the full capability of his abilities. So even if he himself is dangerous, fighting a copy of him would be just as deadly.
That's quite concerning. And he kind of looks over to Elvira and the rest of the party, and pipes up his voice a little bit, and he's like, "Right. I don't think that I'm alone when I say that it would be a rather inopportune idea to potentially end up fighting 6 Adventurers simultaneously if they end up in the same place."
Good question, Silas. When a simulacrum dies, what happens? Just to get something clear.
They return to the snow and ice in which they are created from.
She's gonna be like, oh, great. So it took me going all out on literally one of them, all of us to be honest, to take it down, and now there's 6 of them, so
It seems that
she
we've
just
got our
dies.
work cut out for us.
But from what I'm gathering, if he has business in town, maybe a direct approach is not necessary. Subtlety. Say, if you learn about your enemy, you potentially learn of their weakness.
It
She's
is
gonna
something
say,
that
exactly.
we've been needing.
Actually, she's gonna go in her titties with a stone, and she's just gonna say, old friends, send 4 to follow him, please.
Okay. You hear a response.
And she's gonna put it back in there, and she just says, we'll see what this person can manage to do. Still need to find out more about him. I don't actually know that much about Ventress. What do you guys know, other than what I know? What you guys have told me. Weaknesses. All I know is his weakness is he talked off the prophet's ear. Also, Vex, cheers.
Yeah.
Taylor kind of looks over and he's like, I don't think I've had much direct exposure to him myself outside of with you around, other than the incidents in the tavern the once, but he didn't do much that time.
What I really need to know is I need to know more about his personality. That's how you find a weakness. The chink in
He
their armor.
seems to be rather egotistical, I might say. Likes to, as we saw with the prophet, talk a bit too much for himself and seems to be able to slip into crowds quite easily, considering that nobody seems to be worried about him.
So what it sounds like is we just need to find a way to bruise his ego. Make it seem like he's weaker. Make him get sloppy.
That's yes, but perhaps also some point in the future figure out if it's possible to bring him a bit more into light so that others are less trusting around him. We've seen him just sort of walk his way into places a few times.
If I was to make a guess, if he's making six of themselves, it's probably to conduct business, allowing him to be at different places at the same time. So if
He's
he's
gonna
think the keys, find out what his allies are, discredit him.
he's gonna be there like, guys are stretching the the Gilded Ghost's resources at this point. She could take out from my other titty, the other stone, for the other people.
So, can I know what's going on here?
Okay,
Right,
sister,
you're
let's catch you up to
yes,
speed.
a bit behind on our situation. Uh, I'll start you off with Ventress is the one we're trying to stop the progress of. He was that white-robed individual that walked in while we were eating. Elvira, I'll let you fill in some. Klaus, you may as well, of course.
So, very simple. I'll tell you the other half when it's only me and you. The bit that relates to me, why I want Ventress gone. But essentially, he wants to mess with the natural order of the world and break the gates. Essentially, how the barrier between gods and humans. For that one over there, as she kind of side eyes Cloud for seconds. He worships the gods that he does not like for his personal reasons, that's his to talk about. And pretty much we want to stop him because he fucks with what we want to do in life. And he's
Huh.
kind of an asshole.
And we've all seen or heard the stories of the Deadlands, and that's the direct result of the gods fighting in our domain. Ventress was to break that barrier, that might happen to the entire place.
How
That's
old?
essentially why we're trying to stop him.
How old is Lyra in terms of elf age?
She's got the same age as Vilra, isn't she? Or
She's a
younger.
little younger. I have it somewhere.
You would know
Pretty sure
that
he's
you would know that from what you're hearing, you know that I lost connection.
Hey, so did I.
Connection's being weird.
I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna say anything, but then you said something, so. On the back end as well, so that wasn't on us, that's just on the server.
Oh, the whole thing's fucked.
Yeah, I might have to probably exit completely. Oh wait, no.
That was a bit jarring. I go back into Eldoria, and the first thing that I'm greeted with is loud underwater sounds in my ears because my camera was underwater.
Pretty sure she's at Lyra, at least. She has to be at least in the 300s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say Lyra, either from what you've seen or what you've read, you know that like in the very beginning, the time of Eldoria, that gods went to war, and it was only once they realized they were doing harm than good that they retreated from the mortal plane and created the divine gate, which is what physically steps them from the mortal world, preventing them from like physically going into the world. Like they can manifest slightly,
Oh.
but not at nearly the power they would.
Okay.
But basically, if it's the gate shattered again, World War III.
Oh no.
We press the big red button that says God powers.
There's a big red button that says "Do not push." Ventress is running straight toward that button.
Ventress is like a cat when told not to knock over his table or something on the table.
I like the kids on the internet.
You're gonna see if Vera is gonna take a drink and say, fuck it, I might as well just say it here. Of what Ventress means to me.
What might
And
that
she's
be?
gonna essentially my plans are, sister, remember how where I told you a little bit of where I've been trapped, right? She's gonna look over at Lyra.
She kind of like looks around, kind of trying to remember. I don't think so.
Well, when I was gone, I got sent to the Shadowfell. Good old 300 years there, that was fun. I made a pact and a bond with someone who I can't actually disclose. And my goal is quite simple. The person who ended up bringing me there, the person who rules that domain, I want her throne. Ventress breaks those gates. It disturbs my plan.
I'm back. Sorry.
It's fine. Wow, I can't get back in.
Yeah, I'm having a little
that whole
trouble
thing
too. I tried to
sucks.
get back in and it said that I was the only player and that there's no available seats. And I'm like, how can I be the player and you're telling me that there's no seats?
Right?
Yeah, I think Toastby is fucked at the moment.
Yeah, gotta wonder what they just did. Either they're doing some back-end API stuff or there was too many people on at the same time.
She's gonna go and pat her in the head and say, getting the gist now?
A little bit?
Well, I'm feeling nice. Would you like to ask some questions to help you understand a little bit more?
Later. I'm too high.
She does a smile.
I won't remember.
By the way, Fela, you've never seen a virus actually smile this nicely before.
Yeah, no. And as someone else who very rarely shows more than a single moment of emotion on his face, he does take note of it. He notices rather quickly.
And she's just gonna say, so, what are the plans? So tonight we're drinking? We smoking? And she's gonna go and just be there like, she's gonna do a little laugh and say, well, it'll be fucking, what is going on?
All of the above.
She's gonna say, now Silas, are you going to join us in the festivities?
He shakes his head. No, I don't engage myself in. I'm gonna go drink some wine in my room, look over some stuff.
He's gonna be like, come on, Silas, one time. Just the once.
He'll sit there, kind of clap his hands as like an unseen servant. Like this floating kind of wine bottle comes into the room. He'll grab a goblet and pop it open and pour himself a glass.
That's the spirits. We have Ventress literally just looming around. We could potentially just have to fight him. We might as well drink a little bit before potential danger.
Taylor's probably got his pick and pocket knife out now, and he's been kind of flipping it in his hand as he's got his flask in the other hand. Then he takes a big gulp out of whatever he's got in the flask, and he looks over, and he's like, "I can attest to that, honestly. We don't know how long we've got until we end up in danger again. Might as well make the most of it. Everyone deserves a bit of celebration sometimes."
He
Exactly.
says, if you want to stay here, you can. This house is very well warded against prying eyes.
She's gonna be like, that should work, but for now, and she puts up a glass and says, cheers. And that's a cheers to you, Vex.
Oh man, cheers! Cheers!
I'm being smart when it comes to RP and actually drinking.
Cheers, buddy.
Oh,
In every
I
way,
think I'm
shape,
back
and
in.
form. That's
I pressed
what
play on
he said.
Tailspire like 40 seconds ago. It's just not opening. Tailspire, hello. Have to come in and knock on your head like a coconut, wake you up. Tailspire's just over there making dial-up noises.
Yeah, it says waiting for adventure to begin for me.
Yeah, I was able to get into your campaign. But now when I go back to mine, no.
Wait.
Tailspire's trying to get us to not have a celebration. That's what it's doing. It's salty because it's a computer program and doesn't get to celebrate.
She's gonna be there like, so now it's time for one of Evira's fun games this time. She's gonna say, Silas, I actually don't know much about you.
What do you want to know?
What did an early Silas growing up look like? Were you always interested in knowledge and books, or
I've always had a thing for the arcane arts. Did my brother decide to be an asshole?
she's gonna do a little tilt of her head?
Long story short, I came into possession of a powerful artifact, and I met my own patron this way. My brother, being a complete and utter asshole, didn't like that. Apparently bound me to it, trapped me in a fucking crystal. It wasn't for him, as he points over to Klaus.
Klaus would nod and take a puff from his pipe.
I would still fucking be there.
Well, she's gonna go and put a glass up and say, to freedom it looks like.
Cheers.
Cheers!
Taylor kind of
That's a
looks
cheers.
over.
Yeah! Yeah! You
He
say
raises his
cheers,
tank.
I mean cheers!
He raises his flask and he says, "Freedom is definitely something that I could cheer to."
Gotta kill this goal.
Already nearly halfway through this glass. And it's a big glass. She's gonna be there like, no, the next person we don't know much about, and she's gonna point at the back at Lady Ophelia. Is it Ophelia?
Lady
Ophelia?
Ophelia.
Ophelia. She's gonna be there like, you're always quiet in the back, and you're one of the first people I met when I kind of dropped back into where I was trying to get to. What fun stories have you got to tell?
He kind of looks. This.
Hi. Real quick, above table. Tailspire server. At subscriber seems to be some lag issues with the server. Our backend guy is looking into it and hopefully have it resolved soon.
Is
I
that in their
The
server?
Tailspire server just put out an update saying that they're having trouble on the back end and trying to fix it.
So we're gonna have to play this theater of the mind.
I didn't really plan on moving my character around too much as we were going anyways, because I was probably going to be doing theater mostly. He's just been
Yeah.
against the wall, chugging from his flask, flipping his knife around in his hand, like doing little tricks with it.
We say cheers, we take hit, we take hit, we take hit. I gotta pack a new bowl.
Ophelia kind of looks around, saying, "Well, my father's a well-known noble family in the Shadowfell. Spent most of my life there. Till I met him," as he points to Klaus.
Your husband.
Yes.
She's gonna be there like, you got lucky in the Shadowfell. She's almost gonna be there like, why couldn't I find you when I was stuck there?
Shrugs.
I know you said shrugs, but it glitched, so it sounded like you said drugs. Like, drugs, that's the reason you couldn't find me.
Ophelia kind of walks over to the table, takes a blunt, lights it, and goes back and sits down.
Oh yeah.
She's gonna be there like, she looks in the distance and say, it was not nice there at this point. I'm just remembering how it felt.
Quick question: are they pre-rolls, or can I just be there like masterfully rolling up the blunt?
I mean, it depends on how much y'all y'all got, because right now, if y'all, Silas is not paying for any of this shit, at least for the drugs.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'll be right back.
I got you. I'll sugar baby y'all. It's fine. I got you.
It's kind of crazy. You got two rich fuckers in the party right now.
I've got a few thousand in gemstones inside of my bag.
I've got more than that in cash.
Where is it?
Vera's
I've
got that in cash, and she got so many magic
787
items.
Yeah, 787 in gold and 6,500 gold pieces worth of gems in my bag, just various gems, and then the an item worth the lab I have in my portable hole is probably like a good 4,000 to 5,000 by itself because of all the equipment in it.
Yeah, everyone's
Plus
got
the whole-
10k to her name just in raw gold.
Haha.
And you have to remember, she's been spending the gold. I literally decked out Janra in crazy gear. I decked out Elvira in crazy gear. She did so many trades with people. And she still has 10k. That's what's crazy. Still has 10k after all of those deals that she did. And you have to also remember, she had that money and she hasn't even seen her family in ages.
I know, that's crazy.
I told you that I was even talking to her late about it. That The Jenner family are rich as shit. We are like Rothschild in this bitch. As she, fuck it, while late's gone, might as well do a little piece of RP. She's gonna be there. She's gonna look at Lyra and say, "So how have mum and dad been since I've been gone? Still the same old miserable fuckers?"
A pain in my ass.
Did they at least miss me slightly when I was gone, or
It's honestly hard to tell.
she just sighs and then just sips her drink again? She just says, "Fuck it, cheers."
Cheers.
I'll light up the joint in a little bit. I need to refill my cup now. It's starting to get too low.
I gotta smoke the rest of what I have before my boyfriend gets home. Because he told me not to let him.
I'm probably gonna dip out. I think I have to dip out early. I have to dip out in about an hour, I'd say.
No!
Don't worry, Vex. I'll hit you with millions
How
of cheers.
could you? How could you?
Listen, I'm triple booked.
Would
You know how many? You know how many people try to say, "Oh, how are you gonna be free?" Free. I have people literally. I went in for a cheers in the group of people I've been chilling with, and they literally, like, I literally just went in for 2 seconds. They said, "Cheers." I'm like, "Cheers, cheers." Sipped and then just dipped out.
Yeah.
Could never.
How many
had
other people?
Actually, Vex, I have a friend on Xbox who a while back he was waiting for me to get home from the store, and I was like, all right, I'm home, and he was like, well, now I'm playing ranked Rainbow Six Siege, and I can't exactly back out, so.
That's kind of fair. That's
Well,
kind
yeah,
of fair.
it was just he was like, hold on, I'll finish this match, and then like 5 hours went by, and I was like, are you done with that match?
Or just got distracted. Leave him alone.
She's just gonna look over and just say, "I do have a quick question, Miss Ophelia.
Yes.
What's your father's name? I never actually managed to get quite far enough in Shadowfell to meet anyone but monsters."
Lord Dustfail.
Maybe if I get, can you at least? Okay, she's gonna just try and say, if I get trapped there again by mistake, how can I get there so at least I can not be trapped in the wilds again?
He's just outside the. It's outside Evernight. So if you can find the city, big ass castle, can't miss it.
Hopefully it doesn't happen where I get trapped there again. And she's gonna say, I used to look like her. And she pats Lara on the head. Now look at me.
You're emo now.
She just sighs and then just says, well, I guess this next one is to, I don't know. I don't know what to do this at this point. Cheers.
Cheers!
So the question is, what is our plans now? We know there's 6 adventurers. We know he's in town. We can wait until the Gilded Ghost people get back. Actually, I should really check on them. She's going to take out both stones from her titties and check on both of them.
Shit, bro, it won't go out. God, go for another one.
They
She
te-
she
they-
literally just asked like a status report.
They say that word is that he is going to have another business dinner at the Emerald and Ivory tomorrow night to meet with his generals to discuss something.
She's gonna be there like, oh, that's actually perfect. And she's gonna put another in her titty and just be there like, so he's having a meeting in the same place.
How many titties does she have?
She has 2 stones that she hides in her titties.
Oh, said another titty. Made it sound like she had more than 2.
Did
What,
I?
the,
I'm starting to
How
feel the
many
liquor
chromosomes
slightly.
do you have? More than you.
Now I'm starting to feel the liquor slightly. And she's just gonna be there like, well, so
Just slightly.
just slightly. So Ventures is having a meeting, same place as before, with his generals. And I now have an idea.
What might that be?
We find one of the generals and we take him out and we infiltrate the meeting. We jump in before he gets there and we find all the information possible.
That does sound like a good idea, but thinking about it as well. First point, we do need information. Second point, the idea that he might become suspicious if his general does not arrive. Third point, if we allow his general to arrive to the meeting, we may have a bit of an issue where that general may speak out that he ran into us.
He's gonna say, no, I'm saying we're gonna kill the general and take his place. And she's gonna go and she's gonna take one of her hands and show her face change into a random person's face. Neat ability I picked up. And she's gonna do it over and over again, different faces.
Baylor kind of gives like a thoughtful nod.
I can change my proportions, I can change everything based on who it is. But I have an hour before I have to try and redo it.
Klaus, Lyra, and Tex, all of you make a history check for me.
Sorry.
Gotcha.
Can you roll for me late? I'm driving.
I'm still
They
trying
didn't
to get
history
that
of the
in.
spell. Do I have to roll late or
Oh
am I
yeah,
good?
that's a 14.
No, because you weren't there.
My roll
She
shall
was
come in shortly.
drunk. Oh wait, hold on. I need to take off one of her transformations. And she's still on permanent +1 stress.
Yeah, she's back to +1.
But alter self, I can literally just change how I can just change how I look for an hour. I can also make claws. Claws, fangs, horns, and hoofs.
That was history.
Yep.
All right, because I'm not able to get it to open in Tailspire still, so I'm gonna do the roll in my sheet.
Yep, you're gonna have to.
Yeah.
What did I get? Like,
Yeah, 16.
Okay. That's a
I'll-
19.
So Klaus and Failure, when you saw Ventress go into the back, you saw that probably 2 or 3 minutes after, two figures came in shortly after him. You saw a tiefling, kind of wearing very little armor, with like most of his skin looking cracked, broken, and you saw another heavily armored figure, very similar to the general you killed. Guess that more than likely these are probably his other two generals.
Kind of as you're switching through the different appearances and stuff, looks over to Klaus and is like, "Well, now that I'm thinking about it, which do you recall it would be easier to potentially have Illyra take the place of? There was that heavily armored individual, and then there was the one not wearing much armor. I believe a tiefling it was."
uh, you said one of them was the one we had killed before, like.
Very similar, but
Not the
very
same.
similar but female appearance.
It's really a coin toss. We don't know any information from either one about which would be the easier target.
You can look over at Silas and say, Silas, out of curiosity, are you able to pry someone's memories? Learn how their mannerisms are, everything?
With enough time and extraction, I can.
So why don't we target one of them? I'll send some people to find them. You just say which one is easier. We jump them, we don't kill them. We capture them briefly. Take the information, I take their place. We then kill them. And I go to the meeting. We'd have to do it very soon, though.
About a day.
Got a good 24 hours. That way, there's no chance of the same person entering. They just think I just casually strolled in as the person. But it's important I know their mannerisms, what they would say, what they know. So that it raises no suspicion on Ventress. If not, he's gonna have this meeting and we'll miss our golden opportunity to find everything.
Maybe the tiefling.
He's gonna say, I mean, I just need to. You want to go for Tiefling? We can go for Tiefling. The only reason I was thinking the heavily armored one is getting rid of another capable fighter. Tiefling is
I-
most likely, if he's lightly armored, then he's likely a spellcaster. Or a fast
Failer
fighter.
and Failer kind of stops with the flipping of his dagger, kind of like does a little point towards it with you, kind of using it as like a assistant to his talking. He says, or it could be some sort of unarmed combatant, potentially. It's hard to tell. A lot of individuals keep themselves lightly armored, folks of the forest and such.
Exactly, but if I'm taking the place of them, I can't fight like an unarmored person, and I cannot cast all the wibbity woos that that person can cast. But if they're armored and they have a sword, it's my normal go-to.
Kind of
You have to
flips the
remember, I have
dagger
to
around.
act like that person.
He kind of flips the dagger around. Just additionally, I do suppose if the heavily armored ones probably wearing some kind of helmet or something, probably takes it off, but might help ease beginning suspicion just for a moment. If your
Exactly.
face is not visible. Of course, we need to find what their face looks like anyways, in case Ventress does tell you to take the helmet off.
Oh, I'm gonna make backup plans in case I need to run the fuck out because, to be honest, would Ventress be crazy enough to? You guys know Ventress more than I do. Is he crazy enough to start a fight in the middle of a prestigious place?
I don't think he cares about how prestigious it is. More about the arcane eye, not too far in the
Exactly.
restaurant.
So I think even if I get caught, I won't instantly be killed. The arcane eye will pretty much be a second shield I have.
Yeah, y'all know that with
And it gives a nod.
the arcane eyes probably being so close to that restaurant, it's more likely it's probably going to keep them more behaved than if it was just out in the middle.
It kind of gives a nod of agreement. And he's like, at least we won't have to have a repeat of the Feywild fiasco. That was quite a mess.
Wherever we
What?
capture this person, we need to try and do it as quickly and neatly as possible. We don't want the arcane eye on us either.
Exactly. As she's gonna say, that's why I'm gonna try and get as much help as possible so we don't need to use barely any magic. Should try to capture that person before they enter the city, not after.
We just had to figure out where they'd be coming from.
She's gonna do a little smile and say, and that's exactly what I'm going to find out. She go take out both stones and tell them basically description. We're looking for an armored person. Do you know how many
So a lot of
swords
people
they
with
had?
3 swords.
3 and they were female.
Yep.
Female 3 swords. We need to know before they enter the city.
Taylor kind of chimes in and he's like, likely someone that would be seemingly urgent and like they hold themselves high.
It's gonna be there like, yeah, that's. If you can locate them, please.
All right.
She's gonna be there like, well, we got someone about to tell them. I'm about to literally go right beside Ventress, and I have a way to at least escape if he catches me. Well, I have a few backup plans, so pretty much we have a way of getting some information now on Ventress.
Baylor kind of reaches into the pouch of alchemical stuff on his side, and he's gonna take out that the violate that's got the liquid that kind of like phases in and out as you shake it around,
Yeah.
and he's kind of looking over it, and he looks at Elvira and he says, "You know, I created this when doing a bit of tinkering with ingredients. I'm not entirely sure what it does, but the liquid itself seems to phase in and out of visibility. I kind of wonder if I made some kind of improvised invisibility potion. I might give it a little bit of a look over, and if it is, perhaps you could use it as one of your options to bail."
She's gonna say, it could be, but the only thing is I can do this. So she's gonna show that she can go invisible. Because it's dim lighting in there.
Is there a way I could do a roll to try and like identify the potential effect of this without outright drinking it?
I thought remember that it makes you ethereal. Right.
Yeah, I know, just like in character,
Oh,
he doesn't know what these do since they were rolled on the random table.
Make a intelligence.
Hey, Bets and cheers.
Ah!
When Avora goes invisible, Klaus is just gonna stare right at her and say, "You just need to be careful. Make sure he doesn't have true sight."
Well, that's why I've been trying to practice how to transform.
Right.
That's why I can go invisible, transform, and then leave. Quicker escape
Well,
that way.
if he has true sight, he can see you if you're invisible and your true self, even if you're disguised. Like I can see you right now.
True sight doesn't let you see through illusions. It just lets you know that's an illusion. That's it.
Okay.
You know what? Yeah, I got a 16 on that. I'm gonna add 1 from my diviner to it and make it a 17 for the intelligence check. Because I get that back at dawn anyway, so.
I'll say it seems like the way it's shifting seems very similar to seems very similar to your own ability. Fade out.
As we're all discussing, Phalar's probably got that the vial and he's just been like swirling it around and tipping it and stuff. Probably took a little like, what do you call it, the pipette, like the little thing that you can do dropper with, out of his side pouch and has been like moving it around in there. And he kind of looks over at Elvira and he's like, "I have a little correction. This might be more of a shift than invisibility that would come from drinking this. I believe something similar to my own ability to turn ethereal momentarily."
She's gonna be like, that actually would be helpful.
I don't know exactly how long it would function for, but it does seem rather similar to my own shifting. Kind of swirls it around, and you notice that there is like a clear liquid in the vial, but then as he shakes it, it just looks like it's empty.
Means I can escape quickly.
I don't have much of a use for it myself if you'd want to keep it on you as a backup.
That would be useful. It means I have a few ways I can escape.
He kind of sits up off the wall and then holds it out to you.
She's gonna go and just where's an easy place for her to keep it? She's gonna have to go into armored form as well. She's gonna go and just put it in her pocket for now, and then when I have the armor, I'll probably put it in like the shoulder, something like that. She can drink it quickly.
All right.
Thomas will also tell Vilra for another escape, plan to give you a diversion. It won't be friendly to you, but it will at least help cause diversion.
If it's not friendly to me, it's going to potentially do the opposite effect, and I might end up losing control.
It's not friendly to anyone. But what you're
What?
You're cutting out.
Oh yeah.
You're a robot again.
By the way, Leia, I do need to dip out in about, I'd say 20.
All right.
Lame. I'm on the left.
Shut up. I gotta go somewhere tomorrow as well.
Wow, wow.
you know what I
What?
He said, "Do you know what I'm?" Yeah. I think he's asking, "Do you know what I'm talking about?" It's probably an item that lets you summon something.
Yeah. I think it should be in D&D Beyond.
It says Batman 3 times.
Nothing. He's in a dead zone.
He said, "Say that's if you say Batman 3 times into a bag of holding." One thing though, she's gonna look over at Lyra. Unfortunately, you can't come, sis. But I did some things to make sure that even if it goes bad and I bite the bucket, that you're protected.
What?
She's gonna do something. If it was feeling wild, she could do something that she's not done really. She's gonna show the sword, and then she's gonna show the little glow around Lyra. That she's gonna go and let it go on and off, basically. What was the thing we agreed on late? Wasn't it? It was yeah.
+2 when she's within certain feet. I don't think we ever figured out the range though.
Oh yeah, because it was ceremony.
3 million.
I was gonna say
I
probably
think ceremony.
probably 30 feet, maybe.
Yeah, ceremony's 30 feet. Just saying, as long as we're close, you'll be protected. Yeah, you got +2 to AC anytime you're 30 feet from Avira.
And well,
Yeah.
it's like even as she's showing you the sword, you feel that you feel like is a connection between you and the sword, but you feel like something else.
As she takes out the sword, she's gonna ask. In the
She'll
end.
just kind of cling to her.
She's gonna say that as her sword is out, and then she just kind of looks and just at her clinging to her like, I'm really not used to this. Little head pat.
Hear
If
that
I'm
in your
safer,
head.
closer I am to you, then I'll just stay here forever.
She's just gonna be there like, sister, you do know one thing about what I said, right? What I want to do.
Huh?
That I want to take a throne from someone.
Uh-huh.
She just does a sigh and says, whenever that happens, I'm going to be gone again.
Mm-mm.
She can nod and say, unfortunately, yes. It's a path I have to walk down. I have to do it.
It's fine. I'll just go with you.
She's gonna pause for a second, just there, like, she's gonna ask her sword, is that even possible?
It's like you immediately get back. No.
She's just gonna be there, like, of course. She's lying to her. She's gonna just straight up say, yeah, of course. When it happens, you can come with.
We'll give her a. Actually, can I roll insight on that?
Yeah. Navara,
I have to do
roll
deception.
a yeah, deception or persuasion.
Oh, that was actually a good contest as well.
Yeah, I'll
As a-
say you feel like not being truthful.
Yeah, she'll give her like a knowing little side eye. And move on.
He's gonna be like, so you have to obviously wait for those people to finish, or she's just gonna look and say, I don't know how long this is gonna take, but might as well do another. And she just puts a glass to the air and says, cheers.
Yeah.
It's after
Okay, now it's time to start working.
it's after you cheers that you hear back.
Hey, back what?
I know what.
Oh, DMs.
Static. Back.
Oh, fuck's sake. The armored one is in town. In a tavern. She's gonna ask, now, find the other one if you can, please. She wants to see if the other one's even possible to get, if he's in town or out of town.
What if one of us goes and tries to persuade the armored one to follow us back here.
She's gonna laugh and say, I have a crazy idea depending on the information I get back. Actually, by shitting saying, I would need Silas's help directly if I do this.
Baylor kind of gives a faint smirk and then he tilts his head and says, sometimes insanity can be the best solution. What did you have in mind?
It depends. Let me just at least get this message back. She's just gonna look at the stone, just there, like, okay. Yes. Oh. I don't know where the other one is. So the bad shit idea was, I'm going to go and transform into Ventress. I've seen his face. So I can literally do that one. And I would need Silas to be invisible to show, as she does like a little wibbly woo fingers, the magic to show at least I am Ventress to him. Or her, sorry. So she would just see me as Ventress coming over to his room, talking to him. But then I do a signal, we jump them in their room, we fuck them up, bring them over here. Or we don't even need to jump them in the room, I could just bring them over here. She just sighs and says, have to be Ventress. This is going to be the most difficult. Are you, she looks over at Silas and says, are you able to mirror Ventress's spells he does?
I've never met that guy. I don't know. I have my own
She's
spells, but
She's gonna raise her eyebrow and say, Silas, you don't need to lie. I know you've met him. She knows this to be true because she spoke to her contacts and knows that Klaus and Silas met him.
oh, you mean for the stupid one's meeting? As he points to Klaus.
The very same. I found out about it pretty much the same day.
Brief meeting, I don't think counts. You don't know what he's capable of.
I know you could do some type of. She's gonna try and just dig in her memories, just be there like, She was transformed, so I don't know if Rivera is actually gonna remember the gravity spell he did. But she wasn't transformed when he did the silence spell.
Yeah,
Like the one he did on Klaus.
I'll say make a history check at disadvantage. Then
Yeah, that's a
then
big
rage,
disadvantage.
you weren't exactly focusing on what magic he was doing.
Well, I'm rolling like crazy still. 22.
You know he did some kind of gravity spell, and you know he poofed you off to some kind of plane briefly, but that's all you know.
He relays that. She takes another cheers.
Yeah.
And she just says, those are the only two spells I remember. But I don't know what they are exactly. As long as we can make it convincing, I don't think doing spells is required.
Well,
And
I think he seems like the kind of asshole that You would probably use it to get his underlings in line, like I do. Did you see him like?
Then it should work.
Did you see him kind of look past you? That like these kind of rogue individuals who all kind of give like cowering looks as they look in as they see him look. In.
Now, Silas, don't you show good spells like that. It's going to. It's just a good time.
Sometimes you don't need magic when you have fear. As he's just staring a hole at the underlings.
What, like that one spell where you broke some of my bones?
That was my own creation.
You're gonna see Avora feeling wild. She's gonna stand up and say, "So, what's something you use on your underlings?"
Like this, and you see him just. As you see him just say, "You come here." The guy kind of steps forward. Well, there's fear, and then there's this. As you see him just hold out his hand, as you see like this flicker of like greenish chronic energy kind of start to crawl up this guy, and you see him just every bone, like all his flesh is just gone. You can see his skeleton just drop. Another of my creations.
I'll let the party do this. You can roll insight on Avora to see her facial expression for a second, because you've been drinking, so.
All right, everybody else roll insight.
Vex is gonna laugh, especially about this bit.
Oh man, that's a 12.
Hey.
I do not know what I got.
Let's see.
I'll tell you what it is in a second. I'll tell you in DMs. In DMs, you can see. That's why I was asking for the insight.
Yeah, Klaus got a nat 1.
Damn.
Hold on, I'm gonna see what
I got
gotta
it.
roll for Silas.
I don't think any of the party's gonna notice it.
Got that board.
I'll tell you above the table after Silas's roll.
He got a 14.
Wow. You know what?
Depends on what you want to DC.
She's smiling. She ain't holding it back a little bit. You put the DC wherever that is, but she's not holding it back. How she's reacting.
I think Silas would just show the same grin, but more like in a menacing way.
So above table,
it's kind of weird since he has no eyes, just strange smile.
Above table, Avira is a sadist. She likes that shit.
So,
For you guys that don't know what sadist is, it basically she enjoys watching someone get inflicted by pain.
would this be a good time to remind, to like chip in also above table and point out that I have written in my character sheet one of my flaws is I'm not evil, but I can't help but feel a jolt when a life is extinguished before me.
Oh my god, we got 2 seconds. What the fuck?
Well, his is because he's desensitized. If you knew the shit that he did in his past.
I would say, Jesus Christ. Guys, are we the bad guys?
No, Phalar's is just because he genuinely doesn't understand what's wrong with death. He is a very close friend of death.
And unfortunately, because of the thing that Silas has, Silas is basically like he's a sadist, but more than that, he's technically now chaotic evil.
Oh god.
Well, I mean, the wand shifts your alignment that toward that direction.
So as or after that happens and they both exchange files, Phalar kind of like is looking over and seeing that uh he's kind of like got the tip of the pick and pocket knife that he's been flipping around, and he like scrapes it against the wall a bit as he's talking. That kind of like leaves a mark behind. And he's just like full, white knuckle gripping it, and he's like, I haven't seen a field with arcane that clean in quite some time.
Silas still smiling,
be-
saying, "I like pushing the limits of the arcane."
He's
Kinda-
gonna say, do you mind I discipline the other one?
He nods.
She's gonna do it and just glance at him and she's gonna suffocate him. She's gonna force choke him. And she ain't stopping. 1 minute. Hold on, where is it?
While that's going on, Phalar does kind of soften his grip again. He says, "You said something else that you use is fear sometimes. That being said, I'd like to mention that if this individual that we capture, if we do capture someone, if they are neglecting giving us the information that we need and we do not have alternate means, I could always do a little bit of my jinxing. I have the ability to flash fearful images into the minds of those I've marked."
The entire time while I was Fela was saying that, she's just joking him in the background. And she's doing it until he goes unconscious, by the way.
Silas is just grinning ear to ear watching this.
Same smile comes up. I think the only person who wouldn't know is Lyra. As she's gonna be there like, sorry I got carried away.
Silas will kind of like wave his hand as you see, almost like some like Nuncy force just picks up the unconscious guy and just drags him away. Your mother fucking.
I'm almost half tempted. I'll just like I'm gonna full send the impulsive thought that I have right now above table, and then like see what the input is on it. I'm almost tempted just because in character I was like, I can do fear stuff and everybody's showing off their things. I was half tempted to look to one of our party members and be like, hey, do you want to see the fear thing for yourself?
Oh, Tailspire's back up.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm half tempted, like, to in character ask one of y'all if you want Phalar to display his jinx on one of you.
Also, still one more poor sap.
Oh yeah, that is true.
She's gonna look. She's gonna look over. If I was feeling kind of devious right now, she just came from a transformation, so She's gonna look over at Lara and just be there like, so sister, would you like to give a try?
Huh?
She gonna try and corrupt her sister.
Let's.
Huh?
She's gonna be there like,
Yeah, this is the last guy that's left.
where's the dude?
Right over here.
She's gonna look over at this last dude in front and say, what I did, can you do something similar to this dude?
Nothing. I'm a pacifist.
She's gonna be there like, sister, we're going into the belly of the beast. And just fighting Janra, who's, in all honesty, she's not the strongest. What if I go down? What if I die? I need to know that you can protect yourself.
But you won't go down. You won't die.
You know, the more that I transform, the more that I get closer to death, right? And I can't control when I do and when I don't yet. She's gonna
Oh,
whisper
one sec,
something in
my
her
ass
ear.
hurt. My ass hurt.
She's gonna whisper something in her ear. I'm gonna DM it to Vex.
Oh.
She whispers that. She's trying to corrupt her sister. She's trying to turn her into a demon.
Demon.
Seeing all this, Klaus, you know what else goes good with pain and violence like this?
What?
Pleasure. He's going to cast Desire on Phalar.
What's the? I think this rate it's like a 20, isn't it?
Yeah. Should be a first level spell.
Yeah. So, Taylor, make a wisdom saving throw.
I only have a +2 to that. Oh,
No, you
I
don't.
don't know whether to take the roll in there or out here because it just rolled in Tailspire. Or it's asking me to roll in Tailspire and it rolled in D&D Beyond.
Don't fail on. You actually have a higher DC, higher thing now.
Yeah, you add additional +5. That. So you
Oh,
succeed.
Good old Avera.
So you succeed. You
Probably
you probably
feel the effects for a moment and then kind of like stop, messing with the dagger in my hand again, and give a slight look over towards Klaus, and while he's shaking his head a little bit, kind of like, shaking the effect off, uh, probably a very rudimentary idea of what it was happening because he has done this to Otto before, while Phalar was in the room,
Yeah.
and he was like, "I'm not entirely sure what that is, but I'd recommend trying to avoid doing that kind of. All I know is it was. I don't know what you just tried to do, but it was not exactly pleasant for someone with half a soul. Quite fuzzed in the head."
What? Silas
He's like,
turned
"I don't know what
green?
you just did, but it made
Silas
my
turned
head feel weird."
green, and as you cast it on on Phalar, he's gonna use his reaction, use mirror spell, and cast it on you, Klaus.
Oh my god.
All right.
Question
I'll intentionally fail a save.
uh
Is what?
I'm trying to figure out if he's mirroring your spell, whether or not he uses your DC or his. Copy and cast spell. The lower cast, you only.
I think it's your DC because you're casting a mirror of the spell, so you're casting out of your spells.
Yeah, okay.
Uh, fifth level as a reaction, cast counterspell.
Just sighs and says, "Oh, you're no fun."
Oh, let me cast it on
Phalar
you.
Phalar kind of like kicks himself up off the wall, and he's like, "Now, I wouldn't usually do this, but I do suppose you both made a bit of a display, and it's maybe imperative to show our newer party member a little bit of what each of us can do." And then he kind of, as he's saying that, he's walking towards the last guy, kind of looking between him and Silas, kind of like, for permission.
He nods.
And as he looks towards the guy is probably like, I'm assuming, quite concerned because I'm now approaching him flipping a knife in my hand.
Not just that, but he's like, you see his eyes are flickering to you, and then suddenly looking completely, like, utterly terrified. His you see, looks away from you, looks at Silas.
And
you see like
Phalar's like,
concern and then utter fear. Concern, utter
because he's
fear.
got no idea what's about to happen.
Yeah.
But he's like, Phalar looks at him, kind of steps up beside him, gives him a little pat on the shoulder with the hand that is free. Probably makes him startle a little bit doing that. And he's like, "I'm not going to outright kill you. You don't need to worry about that." And as he says that, the socket on his side, without an actual eye in it, starts to glow red, and the veins go across his body. As I'm going to try to mark him over with my evil eye.
All right. Zero.
AC is 16.
That's a failure.
So there's like a flash of kind of a shadowy crimson energy that goes off of Alar's body and kind of seems to wisp around this guy as I'm going to use my Curse of the Fearful on him, and like that smoke that came off of me kind of absorbs into his body.
Starts running around shrieking. And
So like probably what he, of course above table knowledge to everybody else in character, but pretty much what he would get flashes of, kind of like we had first described when I used this before at the beginning of the campaign. What this guy would get flashes of is just like rapid fire over the course of a few seconds. He's getting just various kind of like snapshots of things that Phalar did while he was formerly in, the group that he was in.
Yeah.
So it's just like
By the way,
war
cheers, vets.
flashbacks from Phalar in his mind.
He's just running around screaming.
And Phalar's just kind of standing there watching him as he's got his dagger in his hand. And he looks over at Silas and he's like, "As you see, I am capable of planting fear in the head quite easily." He kind of lifts his hand up with his dagger, flips it into a reverse grip, sheaths it, and then when he sheaths it, I'm going to cancel the effect of the curse, so when the dagger goes into the sheath, the fright on him ends.
Interesting.
That's happening, by the way. It was about to do something again to good old Lyra.
And as the curse's effect ends on the guy, the crimson kind of fades out of Phalar's purple, just back to the normal pure purple, and he looks over and gives a nod to Silas, and he's like, "It's a little trick that I picked up along the way from who I was once a subject of. He was capable of planting fear within the mind of individuals across distance, and I in turn figured out how to do it as well."
Interesting.
You would notice she whispers that, and in her sister's ear, she just looks at her. She's looking for a reaction. She sighs and says, "My sister refuses to be part of it, I guess."
She puts her hands up in like a defensive pose. I told you I was a pacifist.
Fair enough.
So it's just
You know what, Silas? Leave that one alive. They have to spread the story to ensure everyone remembers.
he sighs and says, "I was gonna kill him, but because I like your idea, I'll let him live. You're dismissed."
Make sure they fear. And make sure they fear my sister. Her wrath can be even worse than mine. She does a little smile and she just takes a little sippy sip. Cheers.
I will just run out of the mansion screaming.
That poor guy.
She's gonna be there like, "Sister, the reason I wanted you to do it is, as I said, I can't protect you always. I need to make sure you can fend for yourself." And she's gonna do a look and say, she may not be drinking, but she don't care. She's gonna look at everyone and say, "And if I find out any of you tried to do those type of spells on my sister, death is the easiest thing you'd get."
He gives a little thumbs up.
She does a thumbs up as well.
Death is only an inconvenience.
Exactly. You'd be in a world of pain if you decide to harm my sister in any way.
Tell you what, they mess with your sister, they can become my experiment. Ask him. As he motions to Klaus.
She raising an eyebrow.
Let's
feel
just
so
say
loved.
in my research, I often need subjects. They usually don't survive the experimentation process. I go through a lot.
She could be there like, so essentially, Lyra, you're protected by a few people now.
I feel so loved.
Oh, actually, you just reminded me. She can go to Stone and say the same thing. Just say like, yeah, protect her. She's making sure. Lara now has 3 people that are very powerful protecting her.
I feel like I could do anything right now.
You about to steal candy from a store and then literally walk out, and they're like, oh, I can't even get mad.
My God.
Basically, like
Time
you
is it?
steal candy from a candy store. They do anything, you turn around, that candy store is now on fire.
Yeah.
I do have to dip out though,
All right.
No, come
but
back.
keep me posted on what's happening.
Okie dokie.
Peace.
Peace. Silas kind of looks around saying, so, what now then? Well, I guess if you're planning to assault a lieutenant general, y'all better get your rest, because if you fight him, who knows if y'all might live.
Nod. Nod. Yes. Acknowledge.
Knowledge? Yes. Totally.
I hear you, bud. I'm listening. Don't worry.
Oh,
Ah, there we go. Discord had crapped itself for like the past 3 minutes.
Ah. Well, guess go get some rest. Unless there's any things y'all want to do. Otherwise, we can just call a session here.
I don't think so.
Alright, I guess we'll call a session here for... We'll pick it up tomorrow. We'll pick it up the following morning.